Okay, let's talk about symbiosis. Symbiosis is when two species are associated with each other and they live around each other, and one of the species is dependent on the other. Sometimes we've got parasitism, where the if you have a large population of parasites, you're going to have a lower population of host because it harms the host. Commensalism, commensalism, one of the species benefits, but the other one is totally unaffected. In mutualism, both of them benefit. Parasitism. Here you see the heartworms. The parasite gets the nutrients from the host, and it might even live inside the host. And we have endoparasites here, like the heartworms that are inside, and we have ectoparasites like leeches that are outside. Commensalism is another type of symbiosis. It's one species benefits, the other is neither benefited nor harmed, like the clownfish and the sea anemone. Um, a lot of times, what we think is commensalism may be mutualism or parasitism, like the egrets that stay near the cattle, the little white birds. They flush out their prey from vegetation, and then they get the ectoparasites from the cattle. So their benefit, both of them are benefiting. It's mutualism, not commensalism in that situation. But here you see the clownfish and the sea anemone, which is a good example of commensalism, because the clownfish can lure other fish into the sea anemone so that the sea anemone can eat, and because of the stinging cells of the sea anemone, the clownfish is protected more. Then you have mutualism. That's where both species benefit. But it's not always an equal benefiting. Cleaning symbiosis, the organism that's being that is cleaning is getting nourishment. The other one's just being cleaned, so it's not the same benefit for both. The one that's getting to eat is actually the one that's getting the most benefit. But a lot of times they help each other up to obtain food and to avoid predators, like the bacteria in the human intestinal tract. That helps to produce vitamin K, and it keeps the health of our large intestine intact. And the bacteria benefits because it's got the perfect environment and it gets all that it needs from that environment. So it's a mutualistic relationship. And here you see the remora and the shark. The remora feeds off parasites as it cleans that shark or that fish. Now there are different dynamics in an ecosystem. The populations interact among themselves, and they also interact with the physical environment. So let's talk about the physical environment a little bit, the abiotic components, the non-living components, the atmosphere, the water, the soil, all those things that are non-living that make up an ecosystem. The biotic components are the living things. That would be either autotrophs or heterotrophs. And we're going to look at each of these individually. Our autotrophs, for some reason my video is not advancing like it's supposed to, are our producers. They are going to require only inorganic nutrients and an outside energy source like the sun to produce organic nutrients. So they're going to use carbon dioxide and water and the sun as their energy to produce food. They're photosynthetic. These are our photoautotrophs. They possess chlorophyll that traps the energy of the sun. We also have chemoautotrophs, which are your bacteria, some of the bacteria that get their energy by oxidizing inorganic compounds and use that energy to make organic components. Bear with me, it's just not advancing like it's supposed to for some reason. Now our heterotrophs are consumers. They have to eat. They have to have another source of organic nutrients. We've got herbivores that eat plants, carnivores that eat other animals, and omnivores that eat plants and animals. We also have detritivores that eat decomposing organic matter. And then, of course, decomposers are also heterotrophs. That's your bacteria and your fungi that break down the dead organic matter. Okay, here's your herbivores, the caterpillar and the rabbit. They both eat plants. Here's your carnivores, that spider's eating that bug, and of course that bird of prey is eating that fish. And then your decomposers, your bacteria, and your fungus, your fungi.